evening, welcome to News on Flip. I am Christian Chico. Let's take a look at the top headlines. Former bandits free 38 abducted in Zamfara State. Edo businesswoman dies as nurse performs surgery on her. KANU sues federal government again. Imo Assembly pardons Speaker after 5 months. And lastly, 7 arrested for stripping women naked. Let's look at the news in detail. A repentant bandit, popularly known as Smalley, led some courageous locals to the enclave his former colleagues and left scores dead and freed about 38 kidnapped victims in Kaura Namuda local government area of Zamfara State. The repentant bandit first killed some of the bandits and freed 16 kidnapped victims and took them to a nearby bush around Sakajiki village, from where they were evacuated by security operatives. After some time, another 22 were also freed and brought out to the same spot and also evacuated by security operatives and moved to Gusau. Osman explained that the operation, which took around Danjin Yama Forest in the Kaura Namuda local government area, brought jubilation amongst residents in the area. However, the State Police Commissioner Ayuba Elkanan, in a press briefing on Monday, April 11th, 2022 in Gusau, said 39 kidnapped victims were rescued after a gun duel with bandits. But according to some residents of Kaura Namuda local government area, the kidnapped victims were released by Smalley. The axis has been in total control of the recalcitrant bandits before Smalley and his groups courageously confronted the deadly terrorists in their enclaves and neutralized scores of them, while others escaped with various degrees of injuries, some of the residents said. A businesswoman, Fatima Issa, died during the fibroid surgery at the Felibam Alpha Clinic in the Mafiluku area of Oshodi, Lagos State. The victim, alongside her sister Queen, were said to have traveled from their hometown in Auchi, Edo State for the surgery at the medical facility. When the sisters got to the hospital last Thursday, Fatima was admitted and Queen slept over at the hospital. Speaking to reporters, Queen said the management of the hospital demanded 119,000 naira for the surgery, adding that she left her sister in their care to withdraw the money. Queen said the money was in her account, so she went to the bank, withdrew the money, but when she returned to the hospital at around 1:35 p.m., he had already taken her sister to the theater room to perform the surgery, despite not signing any form. When I did not hear from them for hours, I called one of the nurses to know what's happening, but was told that they were cleaning her up. Around 5 p.m., the doctor walked out of the hospital, and as I asked my sister, she said she was okay. Later, they brought my sister out, but when I saw my sister, she was breathing abnormally. I quickly alerted the doctor and nurses, and the person assisting the doctor came and started hitting my sister's lap. When my sister shook her head, the assistant doctor said she was okay simply because she shook her head. But as he stepped out, she started breathing heavily, and all of a sudden she stopped breathing, and that was how she died. I quickly called the doctors and nurses again. When they rushed in, they said I should go out, but I refused. I started shouting and crying. I called one of my sisters, Kate, and she came around 8 p.m. We both slept where Fatima's corpse was dumped in the hospital. The doctors and nurses just abandoned us there early in the morning. I called my sister in Asaba, who told us to call our cousin, who was in Lagos. We want the government to help us get justice for what they did to my sister. We heard the person that operated on my sister is not even a doctor. Mama alleged that the doctor who performed the surgery was an impostor. On Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government, the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has instituted a fresh suit against the Nigerian government over its refusal to allow him to wear the native Igbo attire, Ishiago, for his ongoing trial. Kanu said preventing him from wearing his preferred attire is tantamount to an infringement on his fundamental human rights. The IPOB leader filed the suit through one of his lawyers, Maxwell Okpara, before the Federal High Court in Abuja. He accused the Nigerian government of discriminating against him based on his ethnic group, as other persons on trial were allowed to wear clothes of their choice to the court. The embattled IPOB leader argued that though he is currently a detainee, he is entitled to the enjoyment of his fundamental right to freedom from discrimination as guaranteed under Section 42 subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Cited as first to third respondents in the suit marked FAC ABJCS 482 2022 are the Director General of the State Security Service, the State Security Service and the Attorney General of the Federation. Specifically, KANU is asking the court, among other things, to declare that the respondents, while carrying out their lawful duties, are bound to adhere and to respect the fundamental rights of all citizens of Nigeria as enshrined in Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended and the Africa Charter on Human Rights and People's Right Ratification Enforcement Act. Is also seeking an order directing the respondents jointly and severally to immediately allow the applicant to have a change of clothes in their detention facility or at any time he appears in public for his trial. On Imo Assembly, the Imo State House of Assembly Speaker Kennedy Ibe has lifted the suspension he slammed on his predecessor, Paul Emezim. The Assembly also recalled Ngozi Obiefule, who represents the Isu State constituency. Recalled that Emezim and 3 others were suspended by the Assembly on November 8th and Ibe was announced the new Speaker. Those suspended alongside Emezim were a former Deputy Speaker, Oke Onyekama, and former Minority Leader, Ekene Nnodimele. The Speaker, who had since suspended more lawmakers and declared 6 of 2 lawmakers vacant, announced on Tuesday that Emezim had been recalled after he apologized. Obiefule was suspended alongside other lawmakers on December 23rd, the same day Ibe declared the seat of Tochi Okere vacant. An activist and associate of the Speaker, Samuel Iwoha, confirmed it to journalists in Owerri on Tuesday. In Aguleri, Anambra State, 7 people have been charged with inhumane treatment of a widow accused of killing her husband. Her in-laws stripped the victim naked and paraded her around the neighborhood, causing her for allegedly causing her husband's death through infidelity. The 7 people were also remanded in prison, according to State Commissioner of Police Etienne Etienne, who said that the Anambra State Police Command was still looking for more individuals engaged in the act. Etienne stated this during a courtesy visit by the Ultimate Businesswomen and Farmers Association of Nigeria at the police headquarters in Oka. He said those involved in the torture of the widow will face the full wrath of the law, stressing the need to protect the dignity of womanhood. The national president of the association, Mrs. Nkiru Nwago, thanked the police for handling the case professionally. And on that note, we've come to the end of the bulletin. Please join us again and remember to subscribe and share our channel. I remain Christian Chukwu. Bye for now.